exactly you've seen when you said that is an example of toxic masculinity?
Men feeling that they need to dominate spaces physically and speaking over women.
Were you a toxic feminist when you interrupted me when I was on stage?
No, I was interrupting.
I'm just asking because you're saying that somebody interrupting someone is now a symbol of toxic masculinity. You just interrupted me on stage, so are you a toxic feminist?
I wasn't interrupting you because I didn't...
You went, bull!
I didn't interrupt you because you're a woman. I interrupted you because I didn't believe what you were saying.
Like, do you get what I'm saying? Is that you're coming up with terms, and sometimes people just interrupt. I'm fine with the fact that you're interrupting me. It happens all the time, and I'm not holding that against you. I'm just using it to prove a point that you've created an entire concept around when men interrupt women, but you literally just interrupted me, and you don't identify as yourself as a toxic feminist.
The fact that you're a woman is completely irrelevant to me.
But maybe it's irrelevant to men as well when they interrupt people.
Now, you can read this all on your own, but pause it or whatever. But look, I just want to read this part. Men use dominance, violence, and control to assert their power and superiority. Now, you know what? The one thing I've realized that a lot of women do in this generation is you call everything misogynistic. You call everything toxic masculinity. You know why? Because you don't like men and you can care less what they have to say. They can share an opinion and you will name call them. And they will tell you a logical standpoint. They will have facts behind it.
Seems to me like it's feminist propaganda, if you ask me, man.
Yeah, and it's not even just feminist propaganda, and it is, but a lot of people leave out the fact that the feminist movement has its origins in essentially white supremacy. It has its origins in white women speaking out against and spreading a lot of racist propaganda, white supremacist propaganda about specifically black men. Like, that's how it started. So when we see how it operates now, you know, it makes a lot of sense with what we see in these films. These films typically involve, they'll find some way to fit in there a black man, you know, physically taking advantage of a woman, whether it be sexually or whether it be by, you know, physical abuse. There's always some through line of that. Like, you got to put that scenario in the story. And that is, it's always a big kind of like catalyst